amazing. You couldn't have done that last week.
Not without the braces, the brace and all that.
You bought braces now?
No, there's no, I'm not wearing any type of brace on the leg.
Wonderful.
Is it a lot better? You notice a big difference?
Pardon?
You noticed a big difference?
Yeah, these treatments I'm getting, I can move my foot up and down again. Not all the way, but I didn't have that
How
before.
often do you take a treatment?
Twice a week.
Amazing.
That's great.
Hey, Rebecca, I predict by next year you'll be able to win a disco contest.
You'll be running in
I never discoed even when I quit. I was never a discoer. I was a rock and roller. Did you disco?
Oh, no.
Get all my papers straightened up here. Oh.
Yeah, I'll bring this somewhere here somewhere.
Guys in my file cabinet the other day, and oh man, I couldn't. I was trying to find one paper I needed, and it took me forever.
Becky,
How's Mitzi doing?
the sale go.
We sold a bunch. We got more to sell.
You haven't done it out much.
I thinned it out quite
How's
a bit,
Becky
but
doing?
there's still a lot. Good. How are you?
And I have your stuff for you in my office.
Oh, okay.
What'd you say?
Play the in the know. I love that.
Do what?
Got that smart.
I'm over it.
They had quite a
We're not much here. I said, yeah.
We don't even have a newspaper person.
paper.
We don't have a newspaper person.
I know I got a pen in here somewhere.
He was
Actually, have seven.
I made sure of it.
I have seven.
Tyler, do I have it all?
Gracious.
Oh, Mark.
What?
Well, crud. Do you have an extra pen?
Who? Misty? Misty? That one?
Sure, I had one. I don't know what happened. Good. How are you? Oh, this is because I got my hair done today. Yeah. That hasn't changed, but. Oh, she did?
I would have heard them.
Oh, no. I wish I'm glad she does, but I miss her. She was so good over there.
She's a little sweetie, my daughter.
I know how it goes.
Aw. Anything good in that paper? That's what is there anything good in there?
Oh, I don't know. I think he's probably trying to come back because he looked at me like I was going to take his camera or something.
Test.
I saw your picture.
No, that's not funny.
Couldn't do it.
No.
I'm glad you think it's funny, and you think it's funny, but it's not.
That's good.
She's a good girl.
Yes.
Her picture?
This ice kid in her where'd she post the other day?
Yeah. Was it in the paper?
That's one in
No,
your
didn't
gum?
take the paper.
Oh,
We
okay. Thank you. Not yet. I might grab it in here in a little bit.
All right.
Didn't take the paper.
We had to talk about that.
Well, I'm your friend.
Yeah, you are. We had to talk about that picture.
Okay.
When a stranger tells you it's not that bad.
It didn't go.
Here comes somebody. Newspaper guy. Yeah. Hey, name?
Good.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Village Council meeting, April the 23rd, 2018. Everyone stand, join me for the for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I was going to say,
I forgot my know.
singing the national anthem.
One meeting.
National anthem. Now Misty's going to sing the national anthem.
I gotta try to
Stand up,
remember.
Misty, and sing the national anthem.
I had-
remember what she's trying.
I know.
She hears me.
I remember nothing.
Roll call, please.
Lowell. Yes.
Tom,
Present.
David,
Here.
Rebecca,
Here.
Tammy,
Here.
Becky,
Here.
all present.
Thank you. There is no executive session scheduled. I assume you all read the minutes from council meeting April 9th. I need a motion to accept those meeting minutes.
You have that motion, sir?
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Vote?
Lowell,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
and Becky.
Yes.
Thank you. That leads us to the Sheriff's Department. Jackie, I believe, is on vacation, and the deputy was going to be here, Laura?
Laura.
But she's not here, so we'll move on to the Law Director.
I have no report, Mayor.
Nothing.
That's typical.
Very good. That leads us to our utilities clerk, Misty George Vance. You're up.
Okay, just a couple things. We'll make this short and sweet. So far this month, the receipts have been about 46,000. We haven't received one of our big companies. We have that's our biggest one in town, their check yet. So that makes a big difference. But over 600 payments for the month. Year to date is about 260,000. And so I think, I mean, if that's okay, if that interests anyone, I'd like to report that every meeting. And let's see what else. The delinquents, I'm going to come in on a half a day on Saturday and work on those as well. Courtney's working with me as time allows to go around town and match parcel numbers with the meter numbers, because I really feel that there's not a lot, but a handful of residents that they're not hooked in our system. They're not even in there. In the last 2 weeks, we found 5 that hadn't been billed for whatever reason. A couple meters, I think that I had mentioned last time that we replaced, they were charged one unit at $32.40 or $32 or under since 2010, and it's a family of 4. So they came in and we chatted, and I showed her bill, and she said, "Well, I guess I'm thankful for the past, but now I gotta pay what I probably should have all along." So that was she understood. So, but I think there's more out there like that. Again, it's just getting the meters as well to bring in more income. I know they cost in the first place a big chunk, but it's well worth. One meter we got back, we got the money back within 2 months on one account. So anyway, that's about it.
Did I, first of all, water meters will be started tomorrow morning, reading water meters at 8 o'clock. And did I hear you say that you were looking for a location in town that you thought water bills wasn't being delivered? What was that? What, an area? Was you looking for a certain area that?
Well, I mean, over months, when you get calls, so many calls, I get used to the same street, and it seemed like it was near Chestnut, Jefferson, and like a circle around there.
Right.
And you hear it from 1 or 2 people or a few. You just think, oh, they could have got switched. They're small, they're little, but we started hearing it quite a bit. So this month has been pretty good.
With the new
Back to the
paper?
The old card stock, but different color. And working with the post office, they've been very helpful to us as well. They recognize the problems as well. And even the one of the carriers have put on little notes on the cards when they try to deliver them, like house vacant, or it's for sale, helping us out like that. That's above and beyond what his job. So I appreciate that also.
You know, Miss, at least none of them are going to Baltimore High now, though, see?
I haven't
There you
received
go.
any calls about that, but I'm telling you, that was heaven sent, because that lady was amazing. I mean, she lived in Baltimore, or she worked in Baltimore, lived in Lancaster, so it gave me all kinds of information about both water departments and why to put the sanitary in with the sewer in the water, and why not. She was one that opposed it before it was done, very thankful afterwards. So I have all that documentation as well.
Well, you made reference that you had some meters that's not even in the system. Are those long-term residents, are those rentals, or are those vacancies?
Well, that's the thing. I think there's some that, I mean, I don't have any idea. The ones that, the few that we've done recently, I can't tell you how long they've been there. I know it sounds pretty bad, but I didn't even know they weren't in there in the first place. It was just, as the guys read meters, here's the thing. I thought, how can they not know if it's not picking up the amount, or how can it not know it's missing a house? Well, it's like this. They here's our meter reader, and then this meter's attached to it. That's how it pulls it into the system. And it doesn't, you don't have to go house by house. Like I was by the laundromat and it picked up all Muirwood Village. So in May, Mr. Martin and I are going to go around with a meter reader and do one house by one house, see what we get. So just, and you have to punch in a number, right at that house. Otherwise, it just sits there and dings. It pings the number back to you and it could get 200 by standing in one area. So that's why, I mean, now I understand how they wouldn't know. But why they're not in there, I don't know. I don't know. To me, if it's an owner, I mean, the owner should know. So what I'm doing is writing down the info and passing it on to Courtney, because chances are they're probably not paying Rita either.
It's a hard process.
It sounds simple.
It sounds, but it's really hard to get an address and see a water meter, or find out how they get water. And you, like she said, you have to go to, I suppose, a property comes up that she flags, this is suspicious, there's something wrong here. So they go out, and their homes that for one reason or other was never entered into her program. I mean, I don't know how it happened, but it's hard to nail them down. It really is. That's why we're going to start going house to house, and then hopefully, I know she's asked me about new meters, and of course that goes back to finance. That would eliminate that whole thing if we could just get a meter in every community in Mount Sterling. That would eliminate that whole thing. But that takes money to buy water meters we don't have, so they have to do it by foot.
Good old-fashioned way.
The old-fashioned way, that's right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, even if they read them the old-fashioned way, like they have to go to every house and actually look at that meter and make sure it matches what's in my system, or else it wouldn't be caught. So, and a lot of those meters are inside the basement.
Well, unfortunately, maybe that's what needs to be done until after everything is
right.
finally put in place. It's going to take a while, due to the situation.
It would take a long time to enter every. What do we got? Like 80 homes that needs meters.
Yeah. But that's the ones that we know of.
That's the ones we know of. We don't know how many of those are actually in a house. First of all, you got to get permission to go in there, and then I mean, you're probably talking about a week to actually physically read every meter.
That's a lot, but at the end of it, though, it's well worth to do that.
Well, it is.
Because of what it's costing the village financially.
Right. So what we've got to work on is we have to modernize, and modernize means buying meter readers, water meters. And that's the long and short of it. That would make her job a lot easier and make it more efficient, make it more reliable, I guess, to make sure that we get everybody on there that's using our water.
And if we, Tom, if we do read them that 1 month, if we get a hold of some that wasn't read before, we don't know what the number was before, so, you know, how do we know what to charge?
But it would give you a baseline, though, to start at.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely, that we gotta start somewhere. But like the ones that, there's a family of 4 and a family of 5, and the one was 2014, 1 unit for all those months. I mean, I figured out it was around $1,200 if, you know, if you would say, oh, it's 1 unit per person. I mean, it's around $100 they're paying instead of $32.48. So 2 months paid for that meter. Okay, so I know I already said that. Won't say that one again.
All right. Thank you very much. Any questions for her? All righty. Fiscal officer. Courtney. And then we'll do the village administrator, and then we'll...
Okay, so you want me to do my financial reports first?
Please, yes.
Okay. So let's do the financial reports. Take out your appropriation status. And I'm sure you guys know, I know the finance chair also advised me of some of the appropriations that you guys are seeing on here that are over those 100%. I know specifically for mine, for my amounts, there was one that our payroll system has incorrectly deducted funds from my account for retirement. So during tomorrow's commission meeting, you know, Jim will be addressing some of these 100 percentages that you guys are noticing. Mm-hmm. So don't be alarmed on that. I've already kind of alerted him. But of course, you'll see where it's at 84% on here for the general fund because of that significant 300 and something thousand that we had to transfer. Okay, so don't be alarmed on those. And then the next ones that we talk about is water. So if you would flip to page 8, we're showing good on that, a 9%. Again, because we're going into the second quarter, usually you should be like at 25%. So this is very impressive that we've been able to keep that down to only 9%. So I thank the finance team for looking at those and trusting some of my abilities of getting cheaper chemicals, you know, not buying operating supplies that we need, you know, that in the past that have been just, everybody would go over and order items. We're now looking at them very closely to see if it's a need or a necessity or cosmetic. And sewer, of course, that's at 11%. Any questions on those? And your cash summary by fund, as you can tell, it's a negative $306,000. We don't have much to say on this one. Anything else? Okay, so your receipt listing. Okay, so you see what Misty was talking about, a lot of those receipts for water and sewer payments have come in, and then there was a lot that was sold at Miranda. So you'll see one of those lots. I have another one actually that just came in today too, so on your next meeting you'll see that. Anything on that? And then your payment listings, these were approved on April 9th from finance. The JD equipment one that you see on there is definitely for the repairs and maintenance that we have for the mowers that we do yearly. So that was a small expenditure. And then the Reinhardt and Walters and Danner one, that's for the bond renewals. That was for me and Misty's. And then the Best One tire, of course, we had a flat on one of the trucks and we got that repaired. and then you have your sludge hauling. And then we had to get, you probably haven't seen beams in a while, we just had to get fuel for the vehicles and equipment. Anything on that? Okay, and then you guys should all have at your desk your reports. Did you guys have those? Everybody have a copy?
Yep.
Okay, so for the settlement for 413, we show $7,222.32. I also want to hit on the RETA thing. I just received a form in the mail that what I talked about during our last council meeting, that we're going to start looking at those delinquents a lot. So now we're going to enter into a free program that RETA offers to start, again, exploring the portal that I have and going after, you know, some of the people that are current residents, past residents, and then past residents. So I can go far to see about collecting those. So you guys, next report, you should have some sort of idea of kind of where I'm at, how much maybe we've collected, how much we can collect. I should have a number on that. And that's it for my financial reports.
All righty. Any questions?
Yes, the reader report doesn't give us. It just gives the monthly
Yes.
receipts.
Yes, this one was, you mean on the read report here? Yeah, this one was credited on 413. And now that I'm set up with this portal, I can only go in there, and they don't send anything by mail anymore. So of course, now that technology changes, everything's through this portal. So I guess that's a good mention that you made, Lowell, is there any other part of these reports that you guys want to see as far as like what you've seen in the past, because it's technically through an email through the portal, so I can print those out if you want any additional ones.
Well, it doesn't show, it just shows how much we took in. It doesn't show to date how much we received.
Well,
see that.
it shows right here that the last one was 53,723.55, which should be a reflection on your receipt listing.
Mine says 53, is that what you said?
Yeah.
But
And
what
it
I'm
should
saying
be-
is, I'd like to see
you wanna
how
see the
many
year to
dollars
date.
we got from,
Okay. And I'll put that, it'll be a separate report, so I'll
yeah,
include that as well.
it's separate,
Okay.
because 62 is low.
Yes. Yep. That's why we're going to get into that program.
Now, is this for 33, but, okay. I see now,
You see it now?
January through March the 31st. I don't have any questions.
Okay.
Okay, village administrator.
Okay, now I do have a lot of updates on this one, okay? Okay. I got everybody's attention. Okay, so what I don't want to kind of keep rehashing on what what Misty had already spoke about, but I did take a drive around town last week. I took an afternoon to identify what she's talking about. Is there a house that is vacant, and does that match what's in her system? So like she said, she had printed off a lot of this, the county auditor's website, and it had all the addresses. So I went down house by house, address by address, and said, okay, does somebody look like they live there? And if I didn't, I'd put a question mark. Those ones will have to go up to the house and knock on it to see availability. So that is really what I worked on last week, is to kind of give her something so that she can show back in her system what matches. That are they getting billed? What kind of radio read? What kind of meter do they have? Possibly contacting a phone number, because there's a lot of accounts in the system that don't have a valid phone number. So that's what I was working on, and that's what she was touching on. I also sent out a email, or on a Facebook message to all of the I Grew Up in Mount Sterling Facebook pages. And I kind of think it went well in regards to making sure that people are getting their bills. Now, again, nothing's been brought back to me saying that nobody got a bill. So every time I'm come and pass through the window up here, I ask them, did you guys always get a bill? Have you always, never received a bill? And there was a lot of people that said, yeah, I never got a bill until this time. So I do believe that the paper has worked. I also contacted the post office over here to ask him how he kind of seen it, because he's processing it. And he said, yes, much better. They're not being tore apart. They haven't had to tape very many of them. And he said he's gotten a lot of positive responses from people. So I'm hoping that we fix the problem. Again, I kind of sent that Facebook message out to remind everybody that, the 15th fell on a Sunday. So make sure that we pay those bills ahead of time so that we don't get charged those late fees. So I think it's been successful in regards to that. Again, anybody has any questions or issues or concerns, they can always feel free to contact me. But I haven't gotten any negative responses in that regards. It's just now, like Misty says, getting people billed that should be billed, that never been billed, and billed correctly. That's what we're working on. Okay, so, and I just wanted to also, with the water department part, is that the guys have been, we're down to 2 guys now, and I just wanted to show my appreciation to them because they've been working hard. So they've been working, splitting the weekends, of course working 5 days a week. There's call-outs that still need to be done. They're working those. Being available, we have definitely, I can call them up and say, hey, I think there's, something's wrong down here at the sewer plant. What do you suggest? I think that they've really worked a lot together, and I'm proud to be their manager, and I'm proud to say that, they are very hard workers, and I just wanted to let them know that. But also on the flip side of that is that they're going out to these houses together as well. So they're getting a lot of the front-end complaints from residents. And I thought they would be more like, there's a problem, why, residents might have an issue. But they're all giving positive, compliments on the water. I know Tyler just gave me a compliment, gave us a compliment on a house, on the other side of town, and said they didn't have to use their filters anymore because the water's great. So I welcome some of those compliments, and I want to make sure that everybody is satisfied with that. So if you have any questions or issues, again, please contact me. Okay, so on Mr. Timmons brought in today the what do we want to call it? The lend a hand, help a hand.
Yeah. What was it?
So for the cleanup weekend for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Clean up and clean out.
Clean up and lean on or something. We're gonna create a banner. So we're gonna let everybody know. Mr. Dill, our Parks and Recs guy, is going to create a banner to let everybody know, because some people that may not watch YouTube or may not read the paper. They're going to do the cleanup day, and they're going to post it out there with a banner. And Billy and I had created a logo.
We got the T-shirt too.
And then so Mr. Timmons said that he had a really good session on Sunday.
Yes.
And they have created this. I met with Pastor Joe last week, and we kind of hashed out what projects need to be completed. He has since then designed a agenda for everybody and who they're grouped with, what their responsibility is going to be, what their project's going to be. And I believe your guys' logo is on mission, right?
Yeah,
so
right here. I'll unfold the T-shirt here. This is where all the workers will be wearing.
Yes.
It's got on a mission, and I'll have it right there on there. And then it's got and that's what we'll be wearing, so you'll know we're actually identified with the town.
That's great.
And then, and like I said, this is something if we don't get it all done this time, like Pastor Joe said, that we will take another day and do it later.
That's great, yeah.
And Sunday, we are actually going to be at the laundromat giving out quarters. Anybody wants to wash their clothes, and also we'll put up $1,000 at the gas station at Sunoco. You can get gas until we run out of the $1,000.
That's great.
So it's a good thing.
So we're very excited for that to happen. I know Pastor Joe and everybody at the Nazarene Church is willing to do this, and we couldn't thank you guys enough. So we also we thought we would have to pay for a dumpster. I got a free dumpster up at the garage, so we will have 2 full dumpsters. So that's good. Also, in the lines of free and being green and helping a hand, I also got an email from AEP that says that they will give $50 for getting rid of old freezers and refrigerators. And they will pick them up and make sure that they get recycled. And then you also will receive 3 free LED bulbs. And this could save you up to $150 a year in energy cost. So be mindful of that. If anybody has any, we can call AEP and they can come out and pick it up. Now, this doesn't have to be during this weekend.
Okay, I have a question for you on that, because I called them when I needed that once, and it had to be a working refrigerator.
Okay, so
is that the case still?
Yes.
Or
Yes, that is the case.
they won't take just old ones that are
No.
No,
don't
it
work?
says in here, it says you will give $50 for getting rid of your old fridge or freezer.
Right, and you have to plug it in, and it has to actually run. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily work right, it has to run.
Okay, well, we need to make sure, because
Yeah.
I was told it has to actually cool.
Okay.
So, but this was a year
They
ago.
came down and got mine. They said you got to
They-
plug it in
Uh-huh.
out beside my garage, and it runs.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, okay, that's all we need. It works. So
Okay,
Okay,
they hauled it off.
but I will make sure.
okay. And then you have like a number that we can give to people
Well,
to
this is
schedule
the
this?
only thing that I received. These are one of those newsletters. There's not a phone number, but I have an AEP rep that I can ask.
Okay.
But yeah, the residents will have to call if they would like to do that.
I had asked before about this cleanup day, like, you know, how people were going to find out, and I like that we're having a banner. That's great. I wish we had time to get a flyer out too, but a question, like, are they going to be receptive to people cleaning out their garages or whatever and putting stuff on the curb? Can we, like, have people in trucks circling around to pick up, you know, garbage at a curb
We'll
and
have-
stuff? So yes.
We're gonna have 2 pickup trucks out too.
So community members can put
Yeah,
stuff
if
out
they
at
want,
the
if
road
anything, like,
that
if
day.
you got an old television or
Tammy's going to
something.
address that during
Oh,
her
okay.
Yeah,
speech.
all means.
Okay,
And they can call the church office if they got anything big at 3127. And they
Okay.
will.
They have a piece of
thank you.
forklift equipment or
Yeah,
something
we'll
they're
have
going to bring into
forklift even,
town
So,
for heavy stuff.
yes.
But again, they're going to do gazebo repairing. They have a landscaper. They have a
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what kind of things are they gonna do?
yeah. So they're going to do the mulch around there, around the gazebo, and at the points. So they're going to clean those up and make sure that's taken care of. They're going to pick up trash, litter, sweeping. I know that's what Mr. Timmons and I talked about. There is a lot of garbage that's behind the IGA that they're going to be picking up.
And any property owner needs to, like I say, a senior citizen needs their yard mowed or something, they can call the church office and we will send somebody to mow their yard or something like that.
But I can, if you guys want to see this, I'll,
Okay.
if you guys
Thank
want to gander at that. We also held training with the council members at the Legion Hall on Friday, the April the 20th. I think, and I felt that Ohio River Water, Mr. Tim Ballard, and Sean were there that also administered the training, and I really think that it was very helpful. I know I received positive comments from everybody. That this was free. They took the opportunity to invite other villages. I know New Holland was there, Asheville, Commercial Point,
Mechanicsburg.
London, Mechanicsburg. It was a very good session. So I wanted to thank them, and we look forward to getting more training from them that they would be offering. Also, with the cleanup, we had the Madison Plains senior class come to Mount Sterling, and they also picked up litter and trash, clean town hall here in our chambers. They weeded weeds from the flower beds. They also went to the community center and gave them a hand as well. So I wanted to thank them. I think they did a good job. They needed to get some community service hours. So we had them come Friday. And I also wanted to announce the KP Fish Fry is this Thursday and Friday at Veterans Field. So we're going to start putting the banner out here. I know it's going to start getting summertime. So if everybody wants to, we're going to do most of our advertisement like we normally do out here so that everybody's aware. We also received some, I guess I want to invite anybody that would like to buy water from us. So I think this is going to be a good opportunity as pools start to be filled up. I know farmers that are going to be out in the fields that need water. If you would like to, please contact me. I know we had some sales this weekend with filling up some water tanks. So please reach out to me, and I would love to give you a price on that.
And all you do is drive up,
Yep.
and they put the hose, and your tank's filled up.
Department.
Anybody.
Anybody.
We have that,
Here at the new water plant.
at the new water plant,
Yep.
they had put that right in the building, or right outside the building. We can fill up almost anything.
Yep, so you don't have to be a resident, you can be out of town,
Yep.
you know, out of the city, and you can still come fill it up.
It's not free, or it is free?
It is not free.
No, it's not
No.
free.
All right.
No.
Advice is free. Water's gonna cost.
Okay, and last but not least, I know we've talked about this, you know, months prior, is would you guys like to take a tour of the water plant? And when would that be? And then we can set maybe a date for all the residents to be welcomed. But I would like to submit to you guys as council first to kind of set up a schedule to come tour the water plant.
I've been in through it, so.
Yeah. So I would like to invite you guys, but we would like to set a date so that all the residents, I know we've been operating since December, to let them come in and look at everything.
That'd be good.
Okay? So is there any suggestions on any dates you guys want to set, or?
How about the first Friday of May? It'd be nice weather. What do you think, Mayor?
Well, it doesn't matter to me. I've been out there
Yeah, I
many
see.
times,
Yeah.
but the reason she's requesting a small tour before the public is because it's a secured area. You know, people just can't come and go. If you go in the place, you have to sign in. So that's why she's cautious about anybody going in out there. So I don't care. Whenever you want to go out there, if I'm available, I'll go with you. I can't tell you anything, but I'm sure Tyler will.
Yep.
You guys decide and let her know.
Yeah, just let me know.
And I'd like to clarify something she said, probably went over your head, but may not have. She said when the guys work together, the guys normally don't work together. They do work most of the day in their own area, but occasionally, because of policy, for instance, going in a house
Yeah.
where someone is there, they have to take a coworker, or they have to take me, or they have to take her. You can't go into a place by yourself with people in there. That's just policy. So they do a good job even on their own, and they're on their own quite a bit. I just wanted to, in case somebody caught that. Okay, your turn.
I'm done.
Oh. Okay. If you're finished, I'm going. Pardon?
I just need you to motion for me.
All righty. I'm going to need a motion to accept the appropriation status report
I'll
on
make
your
it.
desk. Thank you and thank you.
Tom and Lowell? Okay.
Yes.
Lowell?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Amy? Yes. Becky?
Now I need a motion to accept the cash summary by funds report you have in front of you. I need a motion.
I'll
Thank
make it,
you.
sir.
Thank
Tom
you.
and Lowell?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Lowell?
Vote.
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Amy?
Yes.
And Becky?
Yes.
Thank you. I need a motion to accept the receipt listing report.
Have that motion, sir.
Thank you. Second, please. Thank you.
Lowell?
Vote.
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Amy?
Yes.
And Becky?
Yes.
Thank you. Now I need a motion to accept the payment listing report you have in front of you. A motion, please.
We'll make that motion, sir.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Vote?
Lowell,
Yes?
Tom,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
Becky.
Yes.
Thank you. Now I need a motion to accept the RETA report you have in front of you.
You have that motion?
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Vote?
Does it matter?
No, it doesn't.
Well,
Yes.
Lowell,
Move around along here.
Tom,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
Becky.
Yes.
Thank you all. That gets us to committee reports. First committee report would be Finance. Rebecca.
Okay, Finance has continued to go over all the POs and everything that Courtney presents to us very thoroughly on at least every 2 weeks, sometimes weekly, depending on the importance of them at the time. Also, we have a financial commission meeting tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. This is the one that the state auditor's office has organized as part of this fiscal emergency. It meets periodically, so it's 10 a.m. here in council chambers. And other than that, as long as with the reports, I think I mentioned last time, the general fund being at minus 306,000 is not a surprise at this time because of the capital improvements, movement of funds that we had to do, as well as the tax abatement. So it's going to keep getting better. It doesn't look too nice right now, but it is not an unknown, and we're going to start improving. This is the lowest it's going to be, and it will start improving from this point out. So I just wanted to remind people what the minus was for, and I think that's about it.
Questions? Thank you very much. Pleasant Township. Becky.
Not a lot to report. They will be participating in the Drug Take Back Day that's behind Town Hall,
Yeah.
April the 28th. And I glanced at the notes, and I believe that's from 10 to 2 behind the Town Hall. So the Sheriff Department and the trustees will be participating in that. They asked me what's going on in town. I told them about the Nazarene Church Cleanup Day and all that, and challenged them to come out and help. And they acted as though they would. So
Good.
that's about it.
Very good. You want to talk about that?
So that was another thing that I forgot to mention, but Becky said is, yes, they will, the Madison County is going to have that drug take back. So anybody that has old medications, you can bring them between 10 and 2 right behind Town Hall. So there will be a deputy there with the correct disposal, with any of those old medications. And, we're talking about, old pills. I'm not sure if there's any, additional things, but from what I understand, it was just...
It's all medication type stuff. No hazardous material stuff. I think they had talked about that, the church cleanup, how are we going to handle paint.
Yeah.
They have addressed that problem. I don't know what they came up with, but I know they are talking about it. Paint or paint products or thinner or something like that. It was brought up. So I'm going to assume that we're going to have something in place by Friday or Saturday, that'll take care of that kind of stuff. That brings us to squad. Mr. Anderson.
The squad met last week. We hired a paramedic by the name of Paul Lytle, and he comes to us from Washington Courthouse. We've been working on, and Mr. Taylor has worked on a policy. Our insurance company has asked us to have policies regarding the drugs that we have on hand, so that they're controlled.
Why did you look at me when you said that? What drugs we have? Oh, you mean the emergency squad has on hand? We got aspirin in there in the medicine cabinet.
Got the ocean box.
Yeah, the OSHA box.
Because I look over him any more than anybody else. I was anyway, it's a recommended by the insurance companies, and I'm pleased to say that they didn't have a thorough policy, but they have a very good control over the dangerous drugs. that
Now,
they
you're
have
talking
on
about the
hand.
EMTs, correct?
As a squad, certain people only have access to getting the drugs.
Okay.
The members in here would only have one person that would have a key to those drugs, that could get those drugs. And they'd have to sign out for them, and you'd have to have a witness with you, and things like that. Control. And we have a good control, but we're putting it in a policy.
That's good.
So it's
Very good.
So that was very interesting, and that goes for access to get the drugs and also for restocking. How the drugs are sent to the squad bay. There's control over who, when the drugs come in, whatever reason, there's only one person that can open those drugs or has access to that box of drugs. So we have very good control.
Very
We have a
good.
very good squad. So
Very good.
that was about it. And they have a good financial background, financial assets, about $1 million in the sum. One account, at least $1 million. The other one's about $900,000. So we can borrow from them anytime we want.
Yeah, there you go. That was my next question.
But you have to have access to that.
Yeah. That's kind of like here, at Town Hall with a dollar bill. And my fiscal officer and my finance committee. That's what it reminds me of.
Very good report from Dave. He does
Very
a
good.
job. That's it.
Fire, Tom Ward.
There's nothing to report tonight on the fire department. It does not meet until Thursday.
Okay,
And other than that, it's all yours.
very good. Water and wastewater, Rebecca.
And I'm going to add streets to this also because we have been doing a work session on a weekly basis combining both water and wastewater and streets. We've been looking a lot at expenditures. And when Courtney had mentioned earlier about some of the key funds, the water fund, the water operating fund was one of them, the wastewater, streets, and they all kind of, as we've seen, work hand in hand. For example, for the village employees, how their time gets charged affects one of those three funds, period. And so we are trying to take a look at all the expenditures. For example, if on this payment listing tonight, one of the payments was to AEP. This was just 1 month, $18,251. That's a lot. Now, granted, we have multiple AEP accounts at the water plant, wastewater plant, town hall. I mean, it's spread around, but that is a lot of money. So we've been looking at ways and talking to different people. How can we reduce our utilities? How can we reduce some of the different expenses? And those are the type of things that we've been doing in work sessions and coming up with what we feel might be recommendations for council to consider voting like via legislation. So they've been fairly long. We've been looking at, once again, payroll, job titles, job duties. There's been a lot, but we want to make sure that we've really combed through every expenditure of these accounts, because with the nicer weather coming up, streets is going to be impacted. There's potholes. There's things that are going to have to get fixed here. And what Courtney had also said, it's pretty amazing when you look at how our Tyler has really stepped up and shown a lot of initiative with the water plant. Dennis has also done a lot of the same with the wastewater plant. And, you couldn't ask for two more devoted individuals who are doing really a great job. Not only doing that, but then any other thing that may come up as things do. So, but it's going to be an ongoing process. We want to make sure that all the expenditures have been looked at closely, where we can make an informed decision or recommendation to reduce expenditures without sacrificing any quality whatsoever. So we have another one, I think it's a week from Monday?
Monday, the 30th.
And that will be the next one, like I said, and I'll just keep reporting on these. Oh, yeah, a week from Monday here at Town Hall.
From today.
Yes. That's it.
Very good.
2:30, right?
That leads us right into Parks and Rec. Rebecca.
I'm waiting to reschedule. We've tried to have 2 meetings. One was canceled because members from the Youth League were unable to attend. That's an integral part of the Parks and Rec. And last time Jack was unable to attend because it was the first day of some halfway decent weather, and he had a lot to get done at Mason Park that afternoon. So I'm trying to coordinate things with the Youth League and Jack. We do not have something scheduled, but I'll send out an email as soon as we do.
Very good. Record of retention,
Nothing to
Mr.
report
Anderson.
this time.
All right. That leads us into the ever-popular nuisance and abatement program. Tammy Van Sickle.
Yes, today Courtney and I went on an adventure. We was gone for 2 hours going door to door to some of the homes that we've noticed some nuisance issues, also some complaints we've had, places that have been tagged already. And we start going door to door to let them know about the cleanup weekend, offering to them and telling them how they can get rid of the stuff, because we know a lot can't afford it. Some are not able physically to do it. So we went door to door. We had pretty good feedback from people. We came up with addresses that she's going to have ready for the church on this weekend. And some that were not home, we're writing the addresses down and we'll revisit. And there has been some homes that have been tagged and they are cleaning up. We've checked on those. People's been calling in as soon as they're tagged and working something out with Jack or Courtney, but letting us know that they are doing something. And also I wanted to let everybody know that there's a gentleman that offered to tow away any car that, say, a residence has in their yard that's junk, or on the street that's junk, not running. He's offered to tow that away for free, as long as you have a title to it. You cannot take it without a car title, but if it's a clear title, he will tow away for free. No questions asked, as long as it's legally theirs. If any residents needs to have a car towed, feel free to call Courtney at Town Hall and we will get it worked out with the person offering to do this. And our next meeting is Wednesday, the 25th, and we're planning on discussing more of the cleanup weekend and touching base with more of the residents. With that, I'm done.
Very good.
What about those cars with flat tires on the street? Are you going?
Now, some of them have been tagged already. One's been towed, and one's been fined.
And then up there where a J&S tire used to be, the boots.
Yep.
That one we're hounding and hounding. No response to us. So we're working on them.
And there's a car behind the
Yeah.
J&S close to the railroad.
Yep. We got the pictures of that one.
And we found some more as we were driving around that we've taken notes of, just to make sure that they've been tagged and what's the status of them. But that's what I'm interested in.
Speaking of J&S tire,
I'm sorry. What did he say?
I'll gladly publish their names.
Oh. Oh, I don't know.
No.
Let us talk about that.
Great idea, though.
It is.
Yeah.
man that used to own J&S tire.
Yeah, Larry Lockhart.
No, it wasn't Lockhart. It was the
Well, he
old-
owned J&S Tires. Larry Lockhart did.
It was not that man. It might
Okay,
be.
then the guy that worked for him, James, he took it over.
He was the owner.
But, yeah. This nuisance abatement, they don't miss much. I sat here several months ago and I told you, the public, that this nuisance and abatement group's not going away. They're serious about this. And every day since I've said that, they have been serious about it. Somebody gets a phone call or somebody gets a wrote-up letter, notice, something, and it's not going away. They're working very hard to make sure that this community is cleaned up properly. There's a lot of issues that are brought to our attention, but they have to be dealt on an individual basis. For instance, the authority, the ordinance is what the ordinance reads on some properties in town. Do we tag them, or do we go to the county? Do we head in another direction to get this property cleaned up? Those are things that we talk about. This nuisance abatement group talks about. So every day, I tell you what, I'm as proud as I can be of them. They're working very hard, doing a good job. Thank you very much, Tammy. That brings us to another good group, Block Watch.
We had a block watch meeting on April the 19th, and we had a good attendance. We had a good attendance.
Good.
I'm not going to give no numbers.
All right.
I'm guessing. And we had some outstanding participation. The floor was opened up to the volunteers to get ideas on topics, and you name it, just a whole lot of topics to be discussed. And some of the things that was discussed was possibly getting some extra block watch signs and putting them up by the parks, and then also checking on the sick and the elderly. That's very important.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you just never know. One of the big things that was discussed is communication within the block watch area, not just within Mount Sterling, but within the surrounding area, way to communicate for that. And I'm not going to get into any details other than to say we're working on it. Okay. And
did I hear the word a phone app brought up in conversation?
I didn't say it.
Okay. I didn't either then.
We know that there are a lot of residents that do not have the internet, or may not have a smartphone or something. And so I'm exploring some other ways to reach out to them, such as maybe a flyer, whether it be on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis or whatever, and at least keep them informed as to things that's going on within the village. You know,
Very good.
So just make sure that everybody knows what's going on within the village.
Very
Trying
good.
to keep them as safe as possible and keep them informed. And we just do want to make sure that everybody remembers that the curfew is being enforced, especially with summertime coming on. The kids are going to be wanting to go outside and play and stuff. And it's not that we don't want the kids out after midnight or nothing like that. The way this world is, it's about safety. You know, it's not like it was when me and you were growing up. We'd go out there and run around all night long. That don't happen now. There's too many crazy people. So, and but bottom line is your block watch is active, and we are there for you, and it is the neighbors helping the neighbors.
Very good.
So you're
Very
part of
good.
the block watch, and we're part of it, and we're all neighbors.
I've heard a lot of good reports about it. Did I hear? Am I supposed to say anything I've heard about that block watch group?
No.
Oh, I'm not.
Top secret.
Yes.
They don't want all their,
It's not a matter of being top secret.
you just don't want all your,
I'll tell anybody what they want to know about it, except
Right.
the criminals.
right. You just don't want to advertise all your,
No,
They
it
come
wasn't
down
that.
through here.
I'm going to get a letter
And
requesting money.
oh, well, good.
Well, I guess we get a lot of letters requesting money for American Legion. It's not a problem. I just heard it. That'll bring us to any questions for Tom?
Well, just
Okay.
remember that the block watch programs are on the third Thursday of every month at 7 p.m.
Very good. The third Thursday of every month.
Yes. And that is
And
also.
everyone should be involved some way.
Absolutely, yes.
Be a nosy neighbor. We don't care. That brings us to festival.
We met at
Timmons.
we met at the community center and we discussed on Friday evening, we're going to have a flag raise. And I imagine it'll be us American Legion members more than likely. And then also we talked about the events. So we talked about the scheduled events when we start them in the afternoon, and basically talked about parade routes, and that was about it.
Okay. When's the flag raising? What
It's
day?
going to be Friday. We're going to have a Friday evening. I think we're going to have 5:55.
5:55, Friday.
Yeah. They asked me if I could. We talked about it, and since I'm the SAL commander, I said, "Well, I'll check with the main
What month and date?
And that would probably be on the 29th of June, since the main thing would be June 30th.
29th of June.
Yep.
Okay.
David, what time is the parade this year?
They're talking about having it in the evening at 5 o'clock.
And did the route change, or is it?
Oh, well, they want to make sure. I guess there was a couple of things happened last year that they don't want to happen this year. So they're going to discuss that more at the next meeting. But I haven't heard the date yet when the next meeting will be. But that's the main concerns there.
The next meeting is supposed to be the 4th Thursday of May.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be sooner because they're getting closer to the time.
If I can get email about that.
Annie can supply that information. I have a copy of the information they put out.
All right. That brings us to ordinances and resolutions. Resolution 2018-26. This is a resolution mandating Courtney Brooker, fiscal officer, spend all contributions to capital improvement for 2018 budget year, enunciating the history of the fund allocation income tax revenues for the general fund to the capital improvement fund pursuant to the 5-year financial plan adopted in resolution 2018-15. Now, do you need Courtney to explain? Do you remember what we did? Courtney can explain that if anybody's got any questions of why we're doing that.
But I think the word mandating is quite a strong word.
Mandating, yeah, it's kind of strong.
Put it in there, but
This,
I'm sure you did. It says it's approved
Now,
by form.
this is
by you, so-
from the audit.
But I'm telling you,
We're doing
it's a
this.
strong word.
That's
It is
why
strong.
mandating's in there.
That's what I'm
Because of the 5-year plan, we wanted to make sure everybody understood that it was a mandate.
Yes.
Courtney wants to, I'm going to let Courtney explain
Yes.
briefly what this is about. Why it's mandated.
It is mandated by the state auditors. They wanted to see the history of the capital improvement contribution. We've talked about this several meetings. We've had several work sessions about them. And they want to have a resolution passed to say what happened, where we're at now, and what the future shows. So this is, again, mandation from the state of Ohio to present this ordinance. So these are all the resolutions you guys passed in the past, and what we are now and what we passed in the 5 years. So this is all basically an outline. It's nothing changing anything. It's not amending any of this. This is all past resolutions that have already been done.
And that's why we're doing it in one reading tonight, to get it finalized, I guess was
Yeah, because I want
Proper
to give
word.
this to them tomorrow.
right. So, is there any questions for her? Okay, I need a motion to suspend the rules for 2018-26.
Have that motion, sir.
Thank you.
I'll
Second, thank you. Vote.
Lowell,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
Becky.
Yes.
Thank you. I need a motion to place this on 1, 2, and 3 readings tonight. Please.
I'll make that motion.
Thank
sir.
you. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you. Vote.
Lowell,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Tammy, Becky.
Yes.
Thank you. I need a motion to adopt Resolution 2018-26.
Have that motion, sir.
Thank you. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you. Vote.
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
Becky.
Yes.
Thank you all. Now, she can turn that in tomorrow to to the state auditor, and they'll be happy and we'll be happy. That's all taken care of. That brings us to Resolution 2018-27, a resolution authorizing me, Billy Martin, as mayor, Desi, to enter into and pledge security agreement with Ohio Public Funds, and that's with J.P. Morgan Chase, and declaring this an emergency. I'm going to let Courtney briefly, if you like, to explain exactly what we're doing with this resolution.
Okay, so you guys have your resolution, and attached is your pledge security agreement. This is normally an annual thing that you guys always, I guess, sign into or, you know, agree to. You guys should have had the contract behind it that explains to you what it is, what it recites, and basically the protection from an ORC code that was placed by the Treasurer of the State of Ohio. This is to the duties of overseeing the Ohio Pooled Collateral Program, which is, this is normally what it's referred to as the collateral program, for any depository pledges in a single security benefit for all public entities. And this is to secure payment for all public deposits. Yes.
Give you the motion.
I needed a motion to suspend the rules for, pardon?
Lowell gave it.
Oh, thank you very much. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Vote?
Lowell?
Yes?
Tom?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
I need a motion to place this on 1, 2, and 3 readings tonight.
You got it, Bill.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Vote?
Lowell? Tom?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
I need a motion to adopt 2018-27.
Lowell?
Yes? Give you the motion.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you.
And before we
Vote?
vote, this used to be something we did every year,
Yes.
Yep.
and we didn't have it for the last year, and I thought maybe they'd take it away. Okay, I'm voting yes.
Okay. Tom?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
It
We're
also says you
we're
can't
tying
put
up
money-
all the loose ends is what we're doing.
Well, it says you can't put money in Milton Bank either. I mean, you've designated Chase, and you can't do anything but put it in Chase. So
Okay.
Yep.
Resolution 2018-28. This is a resolution authorizing me as mayor to enter into an agreement with Onyx for technical services to reduce utility bills. I, as mayor of this community, I am not comfortable with this resolution as of tonight. So I'm going to ask, and it's council's decision, I'm going to ask for a motion to table this particular resolution tonight until we have another work session.
Can I ask why? Did something happen or?
Well, let me just say this. You have a table motion. If someone makes the motion, there's no discussion with reference to table.
Okay.
Because what we don't want to do is we don't know what it is that he's going to be asking or why that he's asking it to be tabled. So if you want to table it, that's fine. If you decide not to table, that's fine. But the discussion doesn't take place during the table. It would take
No.
place on first, second, or third reading.
Okay.
Now that, as mayor of this community, that is my feeling tonight, that I'm not comfortable with this resolution as it reads, and I would ask for a motion to table it until another work session and another council meeting. If I don't get a motion for that, then I'll ask for a motion to suspend the rules for Resolution 2018-28. This is a resolution that authorizes me to enter into agreement with Onyx, a technical service, to reduce utility cost, declaring this an emergency.
Mayor, I'll let you have that motion on table until we have that discussion. I think it's be important. If you think it's that much concern, if somebody will second it, I will make that motion.
Well, I feel it's my responsibility as administrator of this community to make sure that we've researched, and by all means, my council is doing a fabulous job. I am so proud of each one of them, but at the same time, I have to make sure to myself that we've totally researched before we commit to a 2 or a 3 or a 4-year agreement with anyone, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
Well, I was going to vote against it for the same reason I had. I don't want to, we don't want to discuss it, but I was going to say that I'm not going to vote for it.
Okay, I have a motion to table it. Will anybody second it, the motion?
I'll second it.
So we'll vote on tabling Resolution 2018-28. Roll call vote, please.
Lowell.
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
David.
Yes.
Rebecca.
Yes.
Tammy.
Yes.
Becky.
Yes.
And I want to thank all of you for your understanding and your patience with me. We'll discuss this at a later date. That brings us to Resolution 2018-29, a resolution. This resolution declaring the creation of 2 new job titles for the village employees, for 2 of the village employees, and declaring this an emergency. And what this resolution does, it's something that we all have normally as job titles. When you have a job, you have a job title. In the past, it hasn't been done that way. You were hired in as John Doe, you were given a pay rate, you were given benefits, you had some kind of a job description, but you didn't have anything on black and white that describes your job title, your job duties, your rates of pay for those titles. You didn't have any of that in the past. And we're establishing, along with, of course, this is not the first thing we've done. We've created a worksheet. We've created a time clock. This is just part of the process of getting our employees in order of working every day. And that's what this resolution does. It actually defines a particular job for water or wastewater, and that job has job duties and responsibilities along with everything else in it. So that's what that's about. So I need a motion to suspend the rules for 2018-29. Thank you. Second. Thank you. Vote.
Lowell.
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
David.
Yes.
Rebecca.
Yes.
Tammy.
Yes.
Becky.
Yes.
I need a motion to place this on first, second, third reading tonight.
You have that, sir.
Thank you. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you. Vote.
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
David.
Yes.
Rebecca.
Yes.
Tammy.
Yes.
Becky.
Yes.
Thank you all very much. So you all understand we now have, we do have to adopt a motion. Well, I thought you could talk about it in between the adopt thing. I need a motion to adopt this resolution tonight.
I'll make that motion.
Thank
sir.
you. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you, ma'am. Vote.
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
David.
Yes.
Rebecca.
Yes.
Tammy.
Yes.
Becky.
Yes.
Very good. Well, this is called getting our house in order, is what we're doing. It's a never-ending thing, but we're working on it. Ordinance 2018-30. This is an ordinance enunciating the strength chart for the Village of Mount Sterling, amending all prior strength ordinances and declaring this emergency. I'm going to let Mrs. Bricker briefly comment about this resolution.
Yes, okay. So as you know, since we've added 2 new job titles, we also have to update the strength chart, which at the beginning of January, when you guys became new council, you guys passed a strength chart. Again, what Billy's saying is that it wasn't done in the past correctly. So what you guys passed in January are job descriptions that I created, and then you guys reviewed them about each job position and title that we had. So this is, you know, stating that we are going to go ahead and add 2 additional job titles, which you guys also have attached here in the new job position title on Resolution 2018-28. No.
29.
2018-29.
Yes.
So once you guys reviewed those are what the job titles and responsibilities are, and the positions and requirements. So this is stating that we're going to add 2 to our strength chart.
Courtney, question. Like, all these positions are not filled,
Correct, yes.
correct? So we're not eliminating any positions, like the supervisor position
Yeah,
or
you
anything?
could still, I spoke to,
Yeah, you still
Yes.
have the authority to fill those positions,
Okay,
but the strength chart allows you to state how many positions are allowed.
uh-huh,
So every so often, you need to go in and you need to update your strengths chart, eliminating those positions that you no longer want. But this is required by statute, and I think I put the statute in the back of the ordinance relating to the positions that you're allowed to have. So this just says that the village can hire these individuals under these job titles.
and I think too, as we move forward, we've talked about these in those work sessions, that we want to establish an understanding of, you know, policy, what is expected of, and have a full package of, if there's somebody that's new that comes in here, they know exactly what they're going to do, exactly what they have to do. So also updating the employee manual. That's another thing. And I think that as of right now, in order to get these in line, because these are the new job titles that they're doing, is to establish this, and then we're supposed to work on some of those in those work sessions to establish the entire, like he says, the entire house, the entire process.
It's imperative that you have job descriptions along with each one of these job titles. That's pursuant to your policy manual. So I don't know where you're at with the job descriptions, but I'm sure.
We have them. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, we passed them in January.
Okay, so I need a motion to suspend the rules for 2018-30.
Have that motion, sir.
Thank you. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you. Vote.
Lowell,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes?
Tammy,
Yes.
Becky.
yes.
Thank you. I need a motion to place this on first, second, third reading tonight.
I'll make that motion,
Thank
sir.
you. Second. Thank you.
Who was it?
Lowell,
Lowell.
vote.
I didn't hear you,
Got
Lowell.
Rebecca the last one, I'll take it.
Okay, Lowell,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
Becky.
Yes.
And since that's an ordinance, I need a motion for passage. Ordinance 2018-30.
You have that motion, sir.
Thank you. Second.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Vote.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
David.
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Tammy.
Yes.
Becky.
Yes.
Thank you all very much. Got that out of the way. Got that taken care of. That brings us to, it's your turn now. Round table.
You're looking at me? You want me
Yeah,
to
I
go
was
first?
looking at you, by the way. Yeah.
Just locally, May the 5th will be our first farmer's market. The market crew is hosting at the gazebo. We've also hired a band, the Southern Boys. It's a 2-man country band, and they'll be here from 11 to 2 playing music, and it's Cinco de Mayo that day, so we're going to have a little twist of a taco food truck and some other fun things going on, and it will be the first farmers market. We're going to try to host that the first and third Saturdays of every month all the way through October the 6th, and that will be at the gazebo. We have had people inquire, some direct sellers too, so they'll be allowed to be in the street market, but the gazebo area will mainly be homemade things like that. I know there won't be a lot of produce yet, but we do have a lot of cool things already. People committed, baked goods. Someone has a bunch of vegetable starts and air plants and all different kinds of fun stuff. Will be there the 5th of May, so you should come out and shop. And
I'm glad you said vendors, because a lady asked me, she got baked products.
Yeah, tell her
I said yes.
Come over and see me.
Yes.
We can get her registered. We still do have lots of spaces, and that's only $10, and that whole $10 will go back into the community of Mount Sterling sometime in the future. Last year, we decorated the gazebo several times. We planted flowers. We did a lot of things, so that will happen again with all the money we collect all summer. And also, our event is from 9 to 2, but at 2 o'clock is the community circus in town too. So at the community center, there will be a circus performance at 2 o'clock and again at 4:30. So I hope people can come out and enjoy that. It's been several years since the circus has been here in town, but I did go probably 10 years ago, and it was really fun. It was nice. So come out and take part in what the community is offering.
Yes, we need for them to come out of the house and participate in this stuff. That's what we need more than anything.
Yep.
Tammy?
Nothing.
Spout off? Okay. Rebecca?
Just one thing I wanted to mention that I'm looking forward to. This year, the Chamber of Commerce is working hard to try to bring those beautiful flowers to line London Street again. We hope to purchase some. The fire department's doing their flower sale around Mother's Day, and we're hoping to purchase, the Chamber's, approximately 60 plants. The village has the shepherd hooks, and to line the streets, and it should look like it did a few years ago, where it looked absolutely beautiful. It really brings really nice look and feel to the village. So we're looking forward. I think they said May 8th.
After they get finished.
We will have the flowers in. So we're hoping by that weekend at the latest we'll have all the flowers hung again. And then I think there's also talk of getting ferns to put around the gazebo to really dress that up too. And I'm looking forward to just seeing all the ambiance being brought to the village.
Very good.
It's that mowing season again, and I know Lowell and I used to, when we was on nuisance abatement, the people throw the grass on the street, then it gets into your drains,
Yeah,
then it
saw
becomes
that.
a stanky mess.
I
And
saw
so
that.
And it always gets to be a problem, and I just want to be careful where you throw your grass, and then in my 60-some years, which I celebrated last week, I've seen so many changes in our village, but I see some good things happening again. It's been such a long road, which and I think we're getting back now and everything, and it makes me feel good. And I hope my next 60 won't have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
And then on April 18th, everybody knows I'm a superhero fan. The first Superman comic book came out in 1938, and he's 80 years old now, but he don't look like a day over 35.
So the grass, I agree. I witnessed that today, but I have a guy coming in Thursday afternoon that's going to go over our street sweeper, and hopefully Friday it'll be running around town.
Good. I've had people mention about where the sweepers at.
Yeah, it had of course, the operator is off, so I got a hold of a tech that works on them, and he's going to put a new brush on it and see if there's a leak. And at the same time, he's going to. I used to drive the old one.
Yep.
So I know how to drive them. So, but he's going to teach me how to drive the new one. And Friday, I'm going to have it out. Hopefully. Or Saturday.
Stay off the road.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Everybody stay in your houses.
Park in your driveways.
Just spin the tires, they'll spin the brush.
Yeah.
You have the corn on there?
Whatever. Thomas, you got?
I have nothing else to say other
Mister?
than to thank everyone here for everything that they're doing, and I want to thank all the public for everything they're doing too. Well, the public is really helping,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to helping clean up the village.
They are.
They're taking the initiative to clean up their areas too.
They are.
And I thank you, all of you, for that.
Yes. Thank him for their patience.
Absolutely.
Mr. A.
No, nothing.
Nothing.
That's a shock, isn't it?
That's a shock. I'm sure Motormouth over here's got something. So you got something to say?
I do, actually.
All right. Boy, that
I
was
just want
shock.
to thank the Mad Hatter and the Dairy Freeze for such a short notice, because I think when the kids came down from Madison Plains that, you know, how fun is it to pick up trash, right? So I had reached out to you guys, business owners, the Mad Hatter and Dairy Freeze, to see if they could donate something. So I think the kids had a great time. They had donuts, and to bring them back, you know, to Mount Sterling is to give them some free stuff. So I thank them for that.
Welcome.
Thank you for the community jumping in a short notice.
Is that it?
That's it for me.
All right. Your turn.
What time Monday's meeting?
Monday's meeting?
The 30th?
2:30.
2:30, I believe.
2:30.
Yeah.
Is that a work,
Andrew, you have anything?
the work meeting?
It's a work session.
Okay.
After or now?
Is that it?
Is that it?
We're adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Oh, that's right.
There you go.
I enjoy that. The main thing, the DV.
Like that? Such good stuff in it.
Educational. You want to take this one?
You too.
You been sitting there for that, get out of your way.
The week after that,
There you go.
That's the one thing you didn't.
Hey!
I don't know.
I have to get all this stuff together.
And the training, what was the training for? It was at
The Legion.
the Legion, the American Legion?
Yes.
Okay.
The Ohio Wolves. So it basically had, I'll make you a copy for you later. What it had
Oh, be
is,
careful, bud.
it made an understanding for all council members of how
I have a question.
Well, of course. What's your question?
And I think that
26.
it showed all.
You talk about legislation?
Showed how to manage things, what
Okay.
the responsibilities
That's
are.
not just stuff about issues, but the whole 5 years.
Yes.
Yeah, if you want to look at it, see, the auditors asked, they wanted to see the whole history. So actually it starts where.
So you're saying that all the
Yeah, they wanted to see this here, where we first put in the 25%, which was back in 13.
Tyler Curtis.
And that was in place, of course, it was never moved, and that's one of the things, that was the big thing that we had to move. Now, as part, this is part of our 5-year plan that got approved by council by the auditors. 1, 2, 3.
Do you need to make it bigger?
Since we moved a pretty good chunk, we're doing 0% this year. And then slowly trying to build the account, slowly build it up, back up.
That's what I thought is, it had to be 5 years, because you're not spending anything this year, so it can't be mandatory this year.
Yeah.
Right. We thought since it's the 320 some, that 24,000 is what we moved just in order to catch up for you too.
He's a Mount Manor
It wasn't
reporter. It's
moved
only
in the past. I
35.
think that was one of the things that got Charlie for not overseeing correctly. But because that was pretty substantial, there was no immediate plans to use it. We thought, in order to get us back into positive for the fiscal year, we'll do 0. This is our plan, 0%, and then start